Well, thanks for joining me again. I was just looking through some old photographs of Sutton Park and I found this one which I quite like. To be honest, I'm not sure if I've used this one in a demo before, but I'm going to have another go at it anyway. I've certainly used it in paintings that I've sold on eBay. So just a quick whiz around the materials before I start. This is my palette. I've got ultramarine, lemon yellow, Payne's grey, alizarin crimson, raw sienna, burnt umber and light red. Tea towel, keep the excess water off the off the palette. This is my main brush, a large one Ransonake. Clean water, jar with a nice lip on it so I can take off a lot of the excess as I go along. We've got 15 by 11 watercolour paper. So one quick look at the last look at the photograph. I'm going to get started. I'm going to start off. This is just clean water all over the paper. You'll have it stretch evenly because I don't bother pre-stretching the paper before I start. I'm just going to go a bit of raw sienna, a bit of background flavour. I'm going to clean the brush, and I can see there was a sort of dull, as often is here in England. It was just a dull day, just a plain blue sky, no sun as usual, so I'm going to have to make up the shadows as I go along. That's all I'm going to do for the sky. That's all I need because most of it's going to be covered up with trees. So what I want to do is put in the most distant trees just to start with. Yeah, I think I will. So, across here, I've just got a few. Something like that. There's no detail with these. They're just a mass of foliage. I do like to vary the height. Don't do them all the same height. It just looks a bit boring. Something like that. That's the most distant of the trees in, right? Next, I'm going to switch to the little brush and put in some of the trunks of the trees that are just in front of that. So I'm just going to put just a little bit of water on the palette, and then I'm going to bit of brown, bit of blue, bit of yellow. And then these are sort of trees that are just in front of these, but still quite faint, so there's not going to be too much detail. And all I'm doing, just holding the brush at the end and just flicking it up. And you can always just suggest a few twigs and branches coming off here and there all over the place. There'll be a few that come off the top of the scene where you can't see where they're coming from. Bit more brown, blue. I'm pressing down hard sometimes so it makes it thicker. They'll be the ones that are slightly closer. And again, a few twigs going here and there. So, paper stretched a little bit, so I'm just going to pull it tight against this board. 9mm piece of plywood I can fix the paper to. I just want that nice and flat. And then I'm ready to go again. So I'm going to clean the brush and I want a nice light greeny colour, so I'm going to go a little bit of raw sienna, a little bit of lemon yellow, and then this is just slightly forward now, those trees. Just working out the lay of the land really. And that's going to come down there like that. And there's a path that sweeps round. So just working out where that path's going to go. This area over here is going to be some big trunks here. And there's a bit more. That path comes along here. Sweeps round there like that. So just working out where everything's going to go. So the next thing I'm going to do is put in some bigger trunks. Now this time I'm going to use the height brush. So I'm bothered cleaning it. I'm just going into burnt umber and ultramarine. Not too much water. You can see the water on the palette now is almost gone. All the water I need is actually in the brush itself. Now I'm going to look, right, where's these trunks going? So we've got some distant trees. Over there, there's one there, one up there. The paper's still slightly wet, so this will soften off slightly, which is what I'm after. Because in front of these will be just one or two of the closest trees, and they're going to go on in the strongest tones, the thickest bit of paint, least amount of water. These are just the branches now going in. Obviously the branches grow all over the place, all different directions. There's a few little things growing here and there. Well, I'll go over that with a bit of dry brush work. Let's just put a few trees on the other side. Here's one, here's another. Yeah, I want these fairly thin because these are what I'd class as sort of middle ground. Although they are getting pretty close to the foreground. Don't put them all parallel next to one another. I like to sort of cross a few over like that just to make it look a bit more natural. Again, switch to the little brush. I'm just going to pop a few branches crisscrossing amongst all the woodland. And again, once I've done this, then I'll just put a little bit of dry brush on it. Might have to dry it slightly, and just put a few little leaves on here and there. I'm going to clean the brush, pull the paper tight. I just want to make sure it's flat against the board. And I'm going to clean this brush, just squeeze the water out and just dry it. Just dry it on this tea towel that I use. So you got your hair sort of scuffed up. And then just a quick dry of the paint. And then I'm going to go into lemon yellow, a bit of lemon yellow, a little bit of raw sienna. See what that looks like. This is our sort of lightest colour. And it's quite dry, so I know I can put it on the paper and it's not going to come off in great big massive lumps and just block whole areas in, and you're not going to be able to see the background and the sky in the distance. So I'll start off with the lightest colours, and then just add a bit of ultramarine just to make it a little bit darker. And fine, just add a little bit of Payne's grey as well, just darken it again. And work out where your sort of darkest areas are. Sort of in there like that. I'll have to sort out what's making that noise. Down there. Right, that's enough foliage. So what I want to put in next now are like the big meaty foreground ones. So people keep saying, how do you get the chisel edge? Right, now if that's how your hairs are all over the place. All I'm doing, I'm just dipping just the very tips in and then taking it off like that. And you can see, not so much with this brush because this is well worn. You can see it's not even square. Look, see how it's sloping from left to right. Now from right to left, look, it's not even, I don't know how that's happened. But you can see the brush, I can't, it's basically, it's that well worn now, I can't even get a chisel edge with my own brush. I've got a new brush, I think, I'm going to have to order. So I'll just dip the tips in like that, and then just take the excess off, and you end up with a nice edge. So that way then you can go in like that. There's not too much water flowing all over the place, and you sort of get your nice chisel edge like that. So bit of brown, bit of blue. And these are our sort of tree trunk colours now. Sometimes I'll do brown, bit of blue, and then if your brown sienna's nice and sticky, just to add that sort of extra element in, I'll just go like that, just press it in like that. And then we've got big one up here. See how close this one looks now, 'cause it's got in really strong as opposed to the slightly lighter tones behind it. Bit of brown, bit of blue, and then a little dip in the raw sienna. I don't want to cover up everything, so I'm just working out, I'm just trying to avoid my favourite little bits. What I don't want is everything nice and parallel, so the next one I might pop in and just make that go in a slightly different direction. Then we've got a big one down there, it's going up there. There's not much happening there, so I ain't too bothered about painting over whatever's there, because it's not really adding much to the painting. And I can't see any foliage on these, so I ain't going to worry about any more dry brush work. I can see some big thick branches going. Over there. So just a bit of brown, bit of blue, plenty of water. Need plenty of water with the little brush. Pop a few down from the top. That's all I need for that. Now I want some closer ones on the left now, just to sort of frame it nicely as he leads you into the path. So same two colours, brown, blue, and a little dab in the raw sienna, and then I'm just going to, I'm going to stick a big one there. Let's just stick another big one there, something like that. I think it needs 3. For some reason, odd numbers seem to work better. I don't know why. I'm going to cross that one, just cross it over, just to mix it up a bit. I think that's all we need now for the big foreground trees. What I might do actually, because that's fairly level, I always like them at different distances, so I might bring these just slightly closer. So right into the foreground, bring them right down so that they're a bit closer than these ones. It just seems to look better that way. And before I do anything else, I think I just want to get this path in so I can see where I am. I'm just going to go a bit of light red, a bit of blue. Alright, just do a quick sweep to the path. It's just sort of comes from there and there, and it's quick sweep like that. That's all it needs for the path. Just soaking up the paint that's just dripping down, and then just pushing this land just over to where the path is. I don't want to do it too dark, so I'm going to put the shadows in, and I don't want, obviously the darker the foreground is, the less the shadows will fall up. Now this is quite a lot of mud round there. I'm just going to pop that in there like that for now. Give that a quick dry. The next thing I've got to work out, because there wasn't much sun there that day, where is our light source going to be? So what I'm going to suggest is, if we imagine, I'm trying to work out what's going to create the most dramatic shadows. I suppose if it's sort of coming, if we say it's there, you sort of following the lines like that, I don't know, will it be better through the middle? I'm going to pretend the light's there. So if you imagine that the sun is just there in the sky, and then you just sort of follow the tree trunks like that. I'll show you what I mean. What I'm going to do, I don't want too much water on the brush. I'm just going to go a bit of brown, a bit of blue, and a bit of red, just to make a shadowy colour. And then once it's all nice, evenly mixed, right, I'm going to pretend the sun's up there. So the only reason is because then you get the shadows cutting across like that. I'm guessing it might look better. We'll soon find out. So starting from there, so we got this one here, and then so that cuts across there like that. Just darken that trunk. Down there like that, got the big shadow there, across there. This one there, cutting across the path, look. Another one there, and cutting across the path. And coming down there. straight the way down there. Just reload the brush slightly. This one, not much to that one there, it's just darker those two. And there's just the odd one here and there through the trees. So, how do those shadows look? Give it a quick dry. And then there's a few little shadows around here. Imaginary ones. Right. Another one. This foreground, it needs a bit of texture. So I'm thinking like some great real big dollops of paint, just to add a bit of oomph to it. So starting out on the left, going into this lemon yellow now. Just add a bit of, I think I probably should have done this before I put the shadows on actually, because it's too late now. Yeah, it's had a bit of brown, bit of blue. And this was a bits of mud here and there, and bits of grasses. We need a focal point, and I'm going to switch to the little brush now. I'm just going to put a little figure in. Little figure over here. Just work out where it's dry now. I'm just going to put them out, I think. So just start with the shoulders and then comes out, and you're almost looking for a sort of carrot shape. Bit more water. His legs down there. I haven't done that really well, never mind. I'm just going to pop just a little dog down there. Again, don't forget to put the shadows in as well. A little bird in the sky. I think I'm going to call that one finished. I'll put my name down there. Right, let's see what it looks like with the bounce on it. Well, this is the mounted picture. To be honest, I'm not too keen on it, and I'll tell you why. The one thing that jumps out at me as all this green. It's all the same. There's no. I should have done it maybe one colour and then another shade here, and done it in layers or something. You see in the photograph, you've got a sort of green layer there, a little bit green there, and then predominantly it's all sort of mud and dirt at the bottom. Whereas I've just done it, it's all the same. There's no variation. Also the path. Now, what I normally do is put the foreground in and then put the path over the top of it often. I did the path in and then work the land up to the edge, which is what you end up with, like these white edges all the way around, and it just looks too artificial. Plus, as I mentioned in the commentary, I've put these sort of darker areas in afterwards. Tried to add texture after I put the shadows in. So I was trying to work a way around the shadows rather. I should have I'd done that first, and then basically left the shadows till last. In terms of light sources, I think it might have helped if I'd have left that lighter, just to make it obvious where the light source is in the sky. Because at the moment it's not. Maybe like in the photo where there's like a gap there, you could imagine maybe the sun would come from that direction. Whereas I've just sort of blocked it all in completely. So that's my verdict of it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I can take constructive criticisms. Now don't worry about offending me. So if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. I've got new videos coming out every weekday. Thanks for watching. I hope you can paint along with me. Keep practicing. Any questions, please ask in the comments down below. You can help me by sharing, liking this video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again soon. In fact, I'll see you tomorrow.